Hello, my name is Margaret Fall, and I will be your instructor for HS10 Personal Health. And this video is to just take a couple of minutes to welcome you to the course and show you some important things for learning how to navigate both Canvas and our class specifically. So thanks for joining me, and let's take a look at what we'll be doing. So when you get to your main dashboard for Canvas here at Cabrillo College, you will likely see several classes that have some sort of representation. We're going to go ahead and move to the class that we're going to be doing together. It's going to be listed DE Academy Summer 2019 Sandbox. So go ahead and click on that. When you arrive here, what you're going to see is the homepage for our class. So most homepages will have sort of a similar setup, but what I want to show you here is that you will get, for me at least, the main contact information, so you can see how to get a hold of me and, you know, when we have office hours and that sort of thing, my response time. But most of the time when you pop on to Canvas and get into our class, you're going to be going to the modules button. There are two ways to get there. You can select modules that's highlighted here right under the welcome, or up on the left-hand menu. Either of those takes you to the same spot. So as we take a look at the layout for our class and how it's set up, you'll notice that these modules are basically the units of the class. So what I'd like to do is just take a couple of minutes to show you our orientation module. I won't go into everything, but I do want to point out a few things that would be, well, helpful for you to know as we proceed through the class. So the first one is actually Module 0, and you'll notice as you go through the different modules that they're more or less set up the same. Each module will have an overview. So for this one in particular, you will see a setup of what we're going to be covering in basically the orientation of the class, what you will be learning in each unit, the things that you will be participating in, assignments, and so forth. And that is sort of the overview for each module. So clicking back to modules, so you can see all of our subcategories. We've got a description about the class that will let you know what types of things we will be covering. Some really helpful information about how to navigate Canvas. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I just want you to see here that there are some setup steps that are really important to take when you're getting started in the class, adding a profile picture, giving some information about getting on board for participating in the class, setting up your notifications, that type of thing. So that is what we're looking at about Canvas settings, and you'll probably want to refer back to this as you're getting started and if you have some questions. In this first 0 module, you'll learn a little bit more about me, and you'll have an opportunity to learn about your classmates who you won't be seeing in person every day, but you will be interacting with online. So this is under this discussion tab, and I'll just show you this one right now, but there's a discussion in almost every module. Typically it is set up as follows with a goal and what you're expected to contribute in the discussion. In this case, there are some questions about you, who you are, what you'd like your classmates and me to know about you. There is a little bit of description about how a discussion will be graded and what the expectation is for both submitting your information as well as replying to your peers. So that's a pretty standard setup, which you will notice being consistent throughout the modules. So as we go down here through our orientation module, it is important that you read all of the sections. but there is information about expectations for participation, how and when to submit work, lots of details that you may have questions about. So make sure that you read those things thoroughly. The resources category gives you, again, some tech support ideas. And then I also have resources specific to our class. So our syllabus is linked in here, and that should be very easy to see. Once you go into a page that has some sort of document, you will notice that it is just already embedded in the actual page that you arrive at. So that is very handy for you to navigate quickly, and that syllabus has a lot of information about our class, just like any syllabus. I also, under our resources section, have one of our larger assignments descriptors here, and the health topic paper is like a mini research paper. You'll have time to look this over. We use APA formatting in health science discipline, but you'll also see that in addition to just a very basic grading criteria or rubric on this assignment page, there's also a much more in-depth rubric that explains more about grading and what is expected. So this type of setup you will find in many of the assignments. Anything that is going to be graded will have an explanation about how that grading will occur and what you should be striving for before submitting an assignment. So as we sort of find our way out of Module 0, I'll give you sort of a sneak peek into our first unit. And so we'll scroll all the way through Module 0. And I have Module 0, by the way, expanded to see all of the different headings. But as you move through the class, you don't need to have those all out. You can just sort of opt to click on a module. Like right now, Module 1 is closed, but if I select it, all of the different subheadings will become available. And that's a better way to kind of focus on what we're looking at. So Module 1 is our first unit. It is called Health and Wellness. And again, the overview will give you just sort of an idea of what we're going to be covering and what you're expected to know at the end of the unit. My units are basically going to be presented with a PowerPoint presentation. So when you get into a unit, you will see that there is a recommendation to go ahead and read the PowerPoint and go through all the slides. I'm not going to select this now because I know that you're going to get into that later. But if you did just click on this little thumbnail, you'd see a very colorful PowerPoint come up, and you can get started by scrolling through that. So back to Module 1, we have sort of our content coming to you through a PowerPoint. And then there will be different assignments associated with each module. In Module 1, and let me just kind of close Module 0. It's very long and kind of getting in our way. But under the assignments, you'll see there are two different types of assignments. There's going to be a discussion, and that is going to be following up the PowerPoint. So you take a look at the information in the PowerPoint, and then the discussion will be tied. There'll be some prompts that'll be asking you to apply what you've learned or go a little bit deeper into what you learn in this first unit, Module 1, just so you can see what that's going to be looking like. Similar to Module 0, there will be a goal, so you know why we're doing this. Some specific prompts, so you know what you're expected to be answering. And then a description of how will you reply to your peers when we're doing an online class and you're not face-to-face with other students. How do you know what their opinions are, their ideas? We like sharing our own information, but it's also really important to be responding. So there's some requirements about responding, and that explains it. grading will be consistent through the discussions in this class. So at the end of each module, and we'll just pop back to module 1, you'll see that there is a quiz, and the quizzes are pretty similar in how they look. You will certainly get directions about what to do, how to select answers, either the best answer, or sometimes there will be an open-ended answer, and there is no time limit. And I also will be giving you 2 attempts for each quiz. So it's fine to take both those attempts. Obviously, your highest score is kept. That's a nice way to do it. And all of the information that will be asked of you in the quizzes, we will have covered previously in the PowerPoints. So that's a little bit of Module 1, and you will just be proceeding through modules as you complete them. Make sure that you take notes of any deadlines, dates for our discussions. It's important that we make sure that we're staying on track. You'll be getting announcements from me. And as we sort of wrap up our welcome here, I just want to remind you that if you go back to the dashboard and click on our class, of course, there's lots of ways to navigate. All of my contact information is here on our front page. And when you do send me an email, I will be getting back to you in 24 hours or less. I do have some office hours. That's a great time if you want to do like a Zoom conference or give me a call. That's a great time to get a hold of me. And then if it's not, we can certainly arrange a time that is. So anyway, so nice to meet you all. I look forward to getting to know you through our online class. And welcome. Be healthy. Bye.